dust storm, man. Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all this sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
Well, it's a new week. It's time to sit down with a nice cold beverage and talk the wars. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe, and of course with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Well, let's see if we can talk about some different stuff, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we've been talking about the same stuff for 2 weeks.
You have a point there. Yeah, it's yeah. It seems like we get that way though sometimes, right? You know, there's a rut of stuff to talk about, and
Well, you end up in these cycles that get dominated by one thing or another.
Yeah.
You know, it's like leading up to a film. It's like we could say that, like, we've been talking about the same thing for 6 weeks.
Exactly.
It's what there is to talk about. It's what's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Well, fortunately, I think we got a mixed bag of interesting stuff.
Okay.
Nothing too meaty, but interesting.
Right. Well, whenever you get to talk Star Wars, we can always make it we can always try to make it fun, right?
Yeah. So and we're gonna kick it off by not even talking Star Wars at all.
Oh, good. That works.
So a couple weeks ago we talked about Bethesda, right? And this Indiana Jones game they were going to be making.
Right.
Well, this week we get to talk about Bethesda again because Bethesda has been acquired by Microsoft. It's official now.
Ooh, Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
That's the evil empire, right? I mean,
it's one of them.
Good point. That's funny.
It's one of the longer running ones.
That's for sure. I don't know where that came from. I just thought, well, a lot of people say that.
Well, Microsoft acquisitions are always funny, right? They either go really well or really bad.
True.
There is no lukewarm for that, right?
Right.
This is either going to be super, super successful and a great move, or it's been nice knowing you, Bethesda.
Right. So that was the indie game, right? You said?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Indiana Jones.
So I'm not like super on top of this stuff, right? So
what do you need to know? Like, who's Bethesda?
Yeah, kind of.
So Bethesda is best known for games like Fallout and the Elder Scrolls games like Skyrim.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So a lot of open world stuff, things like that.
Right.
And this has got to be disappointing for anyone waiting on Elder Scrolls 7, because if Microsoft is known for anything, it's not speed.
Yeah. That's funny. Wow. Okay.
I mean, I assume Bethesda is going to retain some autonomy here. Microsoft is probably just locking them down for exclusive purposes, right?
Right.
So they're looking for Xbox exclusives and PC exclusives, things like that.
Oh, so this is going to be like, these are games that you could normally play on your PlayStation?
Yes.
Oh. That's going to make those folks unhappy.
I mean, these deals always do, right?
Yeah, true.
When it goes the other way, people are always mad about that. It all depends on which camp you're in. And the battle between these console manufacturers and what games they can bring exclusive to their own console has just been heating up, right? Like,
sure.
Everybody's trying to lock down exclusives.
Well, it keeps you buying their console, right? That's the idea.
I mean, the exclusive thing is getting really ridiculous now too, because it's like, oh, play 1 week early on PlayStation. It's like, oh yeah, let me run out and buy a PlayStation because I can play 1 week early. Like,
right. Hey, that's worth the $500.
I have a PlayStation, but that's not the point.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those deals, I'm just like, really? 1 week? This is going to make people switch consoles? Not button configuration, not grip style, not,
right.
Not long-term exclusives. Like stuff like Halo keeps you on Xbox, right?
Absolutely. That's me all the way.
Stuff like, what was that one series? Must not have been that good. I can't remember it.
I was going to say, I don't remember what you're talking about, Joe.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that.
Right.
Oh, I can't even remember the name of it. But PlayStation had a few exclusives. Like they've had the MLB, the show, locked up for a while, right?
Okay.
That was one of their exclusives. So yeah, I mean, those are what keep you at consoles, not the 1 week early access to Call of Duty.
Right.
Although Call of Duty is pretty ridiculous what people would do for 1 week advantage on that. But this is it's an interesting notion now in the era of cross-platform play, right?
Yeah.
Cross-platform play is becoming more and more a thing. And yet they're still fighting for exclusives. Like, why wouldn't you want to just take advantage of all of that? Like, people can play with their friends that have a PlayStation or an Xbox or a PC.
Absolutely.
Why console players want to play against PC players is still beyond me, but...
Right.
Like, are you out of your mind?
Seems to
but
be
I guess
an advantage.
It's finally putting to bed the are PC players that much better than console players? I've seen it. They are.
Yeah. The answer would be yes.
So, yeah, I mean, Bethesda's a company that I've had tossed at me by friends when talking about Star Wars open world gaming.
Right.
They talk about, oh, Bethesda should do one. Bethesda should do one. It's like, we'll never see
it. Right. Of course, there's a lot of Star Wars stuff we never got to see, right?
I know, but this would be even more common.
Yeah, that's funny.
I mean, when it comes to open world gaming, Bethesda's kind of been one of the leaders in that. They've been kind of doing it the longest.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Cool.
We'll see if they do well on an Indiana Jones game. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Star Wars game make a move to Bethesda.
Right.
But
who
knows?
I'm just wondering if does it have anything to do with that they were talking about an open world game, right?
Mm-hmm.
A while back.
But that's going to be with Ubisoft, right?
Or I think so, but oh yeah, so this doesn't really have anything to do with. Gotcha. Yeah, I still have Star Wars on the brain, so yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was Ubisoft.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. I mean, Ubisoft's done some of the open world stuff, but yeah, I don't know how comfortable I feel with Star Wars gaming going into the waiting hands of Microsoft.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with Indiana Jones, and I guess we'll have to take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, this could be like a Microsoft Bungie partnership. It'd be great.
Right.
Because, I mean, look what happened to Bungie when they left.
Right.
So,
if there's one thing that's for sure is that, Star Wars fans will riot. That's, I think they have to realize that, right?
They're rioting now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to take much. Not going to take much to just shift focus.
Right.
You can just toss the Molotovs the other direction. This is the. So, yeah. Star Wars fans will riot. That is true.
Absolutely.
All right. Books. Let's talk books.
Oh, the books. Yes.
The books. So, the original novel for The Mandalorian canceled.
Yes.
canceled. And their tweet here is pretty amazing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So this is from Del Rey. It says, due to the ever-expanding world of The Mandalorian, we will no longer be publishing the Mandalorian original novel at this time, as the story continues to unfold on screen.
Yep.
Interesting that they all of a sudden care about if the book matches what's on screen.
Right?
This has not been a thing in the past.
Exactly.
So that was curious to see that, right?
Yeah.
And then, but wait, there's more.
Uh-huh.
DK Publishing
Yes.
has canceled Star Wars The Mandalorian, The Ultimate Visual Guide.
Right.
Now, you remember the last tweet?
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to this one.
Uh-huh.
Due to the ever-expanding world of The Mandalorian, we will no longer be publishing The Mandalorian Ultimate Visual Guide at this time, as the story continues to unfold on screen.
Huh. Sounds to me like a press briefing came down from on high, and everyone is saying, okay, that's what we'll say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty much it.
And the visual guide one, I mean, that was close, man. July 6th was supposed to be the release date.
Right.
So that was 3 months away.
Yeah.
4 months away. 4 months away. Math, Joe, math.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty clear to me, that this is how do you put it? With recent events, they just want to eliminate certain characters altogether.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be the move.
Yeah.
Because with how far both of these are obviously in production, because fall of 2021 is when the novel was supposed to come out.
Right.
So these are heavy into development's done, right?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Close to.
Right. I mean, could still be writing,
editing
but
stages.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. I mean, I don't understand. We're making stories here. One of these is a story, and it's. I just don't understand how we can. Things happened. They happened the way they happened, and how do we just, I don't know. It's like we're running off clutching our pearls, and we just can't deal with any of it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's the impression I get.
Yeah, this is wild to me because, we talked about the idea of recasting, right?
Yeah.
So if anyone's not up to speed, let's just clear the air right here.
Yeah,
We're talking about the character of Cara Dune.
Right.
And, the controversy surrounding Gina Carano.
Right.
Now,
yeah.
The thing about a novelization is there is no imagery. There is no,
Right. You paint the picture in your mind when you read. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's already visual cues for you to attach to it, but they're not putting pictures of Gina Carano in here.
Right.
The visual guide, I kind of understand a little. Just a little.
Okay.
And I mean, that's just a sliver.
Right.
Because what the hell does it matter?
Exactly. I hate to put it this way, but we have the first 2 seasons. She was there, in those episodes. If she just never came back, it wouldn't really hurt. I don't know what the story is, what Jon Favreau's got going, but he's going to redo it clearly if it had her in it. Now, they could just never revisit the character again in the show, and it wouldn't really hurt it that bad, in my opinion. Right. So I don't see where all of this is necessary.
Yeah. But what's done is done.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You told the story. Is the story? I mean, are you going to pull the episodes now?
You almost wonder sometimes, right?
It's really starting to feel like they might.
Yeah.
Like, does somehow, like, I understand you're taking a stance, you're doing this, but does releasing this shit somehow vindicate what she did or something? You know, like, is that how this works? I don't think so. All you're doing is robbing us of a story.
Right. That's what bugs me.
And is Cara Dune going to be like some major character in here? Like, is it about Cara Dune or something? Or is it about the Mandalorian?
Right.
I mean, the title is The Mandalorian, so I'm confused.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we're just going to take this idea of ever recasting that character and continuing this story. And we're just going to throw that in the trash can as well.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're building this up to be something far bigger than it is by doing all of this. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a big deal, but okay, it's done. And you're just dragging it out here now, you know? I
just recast, continue to tell the story, release the stories that you already done, and be done with it.
Yes.
This having to scrap stories because you have to part ways with someone working for you is ridiculous. No company will ever stop producing a product because they had to get rid of an employee.
True. Yeah. I mean, if they do, that's not a good business model.
And then on top of that, it's like, so what you're going to do is you had to discipline an employee, and in the course of disciplining the employee, you're going to punish your customers.
Right.
Good work.
Yeah, I'm with you.
This is what's done is done, and however anybody feels about that whole thing, whatever. That's not the point here. The point here is you got stories to tell. Tell the stories.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because I can't see any other logical reason to cancel these two books, especially a visual guide.
Exactly. That's the sort of thing that Star Wars fans get into. They dig into that stuff and you know, try to learn everything they can about all the ancillary characters and everything. I don't know.
Like,
again,
the visual guide's the tip off here.
Right. Exactly.
This is what made it apparent what's going on.
Yep.
Because, okay, to cancel a novel, these things happen all the time.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
But a visual guide? Did the visuals in The Mandalorian change?
Well, you know, you're right. That's the one thing that might make you believe they could try something like that.
So, yep.
I don't know. To me, it's all silly, but I just, like I said before, just give me some good Star Wars stories, right?
Apparently that's not important these days.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, fans are making Star Wars content.
Yes. Yes, they are.
So, what's his name here? So, Andrew Weingartner,
Okay. Yep.
has created a comic book adaptation of the episode 9 script Duel of the Fates, the Colin Trevorrow project.
Right.
So, haven't really read through all of this yet.
Right. Nor have I. We're just kind of like, I saw this too, right? And I took a quick look, right? It looks pretty good. It's like, you know, definitely comic book worthy, right? I mean, he's done a pretty good job, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how he's got Trevorrow and everyone credited right on the front of the covers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I like this. I'd be curious to actually make my way through this and see the differences in between this and what we got. So
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely I'd say next week we can talk about this a little more.
Okay. You know what? I like this idea.
You know, we'll read through it, see what he's done here,
Heck yeah.
and kind of go over it a little bit. Look at
Okay.
the differences between. I mean, we've seen the script,
Right.
and kind of gone over it from that. But this will have some visuals to go along with it.
Yep.
So
So,
Yeah.
okay. What are you thinking? Real quick, let's just hash this out on the show here. So it appears as though there's 6 issues right now. So, and there's going to be 7, it looks like. You want to take it like an issue at a time, a week, or try and get through everything he's got here?
I mean, I guess we can just play that by ear, see how the news is doing.
Okay.
I mean, we have too many weeks like the past couple. Let's just talk about the whole thing. You know? Like,
I like it. I like that thought because then what are we doing? We're immersing ourselves into Star Wars, which is what we're here to do, right?
Right.
So I like that thought. Okay, we can do that.
I mean, hell, in all honesty, we can just drag this thing out till May.
Right? Yes. Ignore everything else, right? I like it.
Act 1.
Yeah, that's good though. So I guess what we're telling everyone is, let's see.
Yeah.
Weingarner.squarespace.com. That's his website, right? So, go check this comic book out and we will discuss next week.
Yep. And you can see how much you disagree with us.
Yes. Because, that's bound to happen.
Yeah. Most likely, I think. I find most people disagree with me.
Yeah, it's a gift.
It's a gift. It really is. Yeah, it looks fun. It looks like something fun to dive into and compare.
Definitely.
Especially with the visuals. Now we
Right.
don't have to let our imagination do all the work.
Exactly.
So, yeah, definite props to him. This looks beautiful.
Yes, it does. And, for basically a labor of love because, he's not going to be able to collect a dime on this,
Right.
It's really well done. I think, it's definitely going to be worth a read and, easier to consume comic, form factor. Yeah, it should be, something to check out for sure.
And it's definitely one of those things that is like, this is what there is to love about Star Wars fandom.
Exactly.
The creativity.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is, magical.
Yes. This is the stuff that puts a smile on your face when someone puts in all this work and, just puts something out there for all of us to enjoy. And, that's, I don't know, it's what it's all about.
What it's all about. Have something to add to the conversation? Or you just want to let us know how we're doing? Email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. That's the best place to get in on the action. But if social media is a little more to your liking, @TheWarsAndMore on Twitter is always a good place to interact with us. And we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/TheWarsAndMore. And of course, your portal to this and everything else, The Wars and More, is thewarsandmore.com. So some curious new details have come out about Mark Hamill's involvement on The Mandalorian. But before we do that, we got to do one of our favorite pastimes on this show and head on over to Mark Hamill's Twitter.
Yes.
Because I love seeing this stuff. I love seeing when Mark Hamill talks about Star Wars. It's always funny.
Yes, it is.
He still has fun with it. And still, every time he engages with fandom, it's hilarious.
It is.
So we've all seen the meme, right?
Yeah. I love this
Luke.
one.
Obi-Wan when Luke first gets his father's lightsaber. And the memes captioned, handed the most dangerous weapon in the galaxy. Immediately point at face.
Yes.
And he's looking down the center of the lightsaber.
Yes.
So this was tweeted at Mark Hamill. And he responded with, this makes me cringe every time I see it. He says, I don't remember doing this in the movie. I think it's just an on-set production still. Otherwise, Obi-Wan wouldn't look so remarkably unconcerned.
Now, I gotta say, I think he's right. But
I don't remember ever seeing him look down.
Exactly. But he's doing it clear as day in the picture. And I don't know, man. I just, every time I see that, it cracks me up because I don't know. He's never seen a lightsaber before, so, you know, how would he know? But
yeah, and it's funny because when you think of it that way, like it's just a on-set production still.
Right.
And you look at Sir Alec Guinness's face, right?
Yep.
And it's like he's got this look like, where do we find these people?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like this is what I have to work with.
Right. And you can just, you know, Mark Hamill's like, wow, you made this out of a flash, camera flash? Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, you can insert Harrison Ford's voice. Who cares, kid?
Who cares, yeah. So long as they pay us.
Yep. It's not that kind of movie.
Right.
Oh, man.
I love it. I don't know.
Yeah, that look is just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Did you take drugs before this?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I love it. It's just funny to me. I crack up every time I see it. So.
Yeah, it is a funny meme.
I love that it makes Mark Hamill squirm a little bit too.
Even he's like, I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I don't think it's in the movie either.
No. Like, is it a kaleidoscope?
A kaleidoscope, right? If I twist it, does it turn on? Does it work?
All right. So, Mark Hamill and the Mandalorian.
Ah, yeah. So, is that my cue?
Yes, it is.
Catching me off guard, Joe. All right.
Off guard.
I know. So, so Hal Hickel from ILM VFX, yeah, he's a supervisor, right? ILM VFX supervisor. He was talking on the Resistance broadcast, and, you know, they were talking about how they brought Luke Skywalker in for that last episode of The Mandalorian, and he had some curious things to say. So, and there's something else that makes it curious, but he says, quote, that particular aspect of the effects of season 2 is probably the thing I can talk about the least. But I will say this. One, it was always important for everyone involved to have Mark involved. So it's not just like, well, we are recasting and we'll deep fake over him. Mark had to be involved with crafting the performance, and he was. He was there on set when the scene was shot. He was totally involved all the way through.
Okay.
So, he's saying Mark was there.
Mark was there.
So, what's funny about that was Mark Hamill and Katie Sackhoff had this little Twitter exchange talking about how they would love to meet each other. So,
wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
So he was on set when that scene was shot.
That's what this guy's saying.
Which scene?
Well, That's the curious part, right? I don't know.
What do you mean by that scene? The scene where they're all in the room, or the scene where he's just causing destruction all the way through the...
Well, what's funny is that whole part, right? It's just a hooded figure. You know, we see nothing about, you know.
Right, but if they're looking to capture the way Luke would have done it, you know, when Mark was portraying the character, you know, Mark would be the next best person to George Lucas to talk to about, okay, he moved this way, he did this, because Mark was told all that.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that I'll say is I think we all agreed that his moves there reminded us all more of Anakin than anything else.
Agreed.
You know, so
there were some blatant Luke stances, very Return of the Jedi like,
right?
But other than that, yes, very Anakin.
So I don't know. I just think it's weird. I was figuring it had to be for the scene where he breaches the door. And, you know, from our side of the camera, it appeared as though everybody was in the room.
Yeah, there was trickery afoot then.
Right. But Mark says in a tweet here, maybe I don't know if I have this backwards, but so it would be such a pleasure to meet you one day, Katie Sackhoff. It is our destiny, forcefully yours.
Huh.
Yeah. She says, Mr. Hamill, I cannot begin to tell you how much you influenced my childhood, which put me on the path that led me to this very moment. My mind is blown. Somebody please pinch me. This is the way. So it's like, I understand how they could have shot that without them being in the same room, but do you think it was that sort of thing where even most of the cast didn't know he was going to be in the episode?
No, I think they all knew he was in the episode.
Okay.
But maybe that particular portion of the scene was shot separately. So
That's
the
possible.
interaction between Din and Luke versus the background shots with them all just standing there.
Right. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So, I don't know. There's something a little bit inconsistent about everything that's been said there about that. You know, Mark was on set. We needed him there. He was there start to finish. And then, you know, then they want to meet. That's just strange.
Yeah. Yeah, it is curious. It's very curious.
I don't know. Maybe one day we'll get the full story.
Yeah, because apparently they can't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he says it's the thing he can talk about the least, which is...
Yeah, it's classified.
Yes. Very, very Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it's so classified, but it is.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Moving on here. So we got more evidence that J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson have never spoken.
I don't know if I go that far. They've never
Ever.
spoken.
Not once. Not once. They have no idea what the other's thinking, ever.
Right. Well, that much might be the case.
I don't think they've even met. One day they'll meet, just like Mark and Katie.
Right. Yeah. Well, our evidence here comes from Soraya Wilson, okay, via USA Today. She's a USA Today reporter.
Okay.
And she's tweeting a conversation with Ryan, apparently. It says, me. Did you know that Ben was going to die when you were making The Last Jedi? Did you know that from the beginning? Ryan. No, I did not. No. And it says, me, irritated because I realized that killing Ben Solo was not always the plan. Ryan notices my expression and sigh of disgust. So this goes on, and laughingly asked me what that was for. I told him I had a lot of feelings about that ending, and then showed him my Ben Solo Deserved Better t-shirt, which made him laugh more. He explained that it was very much a full handoff between 7 and 8, just as it was from 8 to 9.
Oh, we saw that.
Ryan did his best to tee up a bunch of things and tried to bring 8 to a point where there were lots of places the story could go. He didn't want to be unfair to the next director and leave a lot of possibilities. He wasn't trying for a specific outcome for the end of the series, but to have lots of dramatic potential for 9. He answered my question again by saying he didn't know whether Kylo would live or die, then quickly corrected himself to say he didn't know whether Ben would live or die, and how the series would resolve. So,
I mean,
yeah.
So here's my reaction at the end of The Last Jedi, right? You know, when we discuss the future of these characters, it was very clear to me when they parted ways at the end of The Last Jedi.
Yep.
When Rey and Ben had that no words exchange at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And the ramp closed.
It's very symbolic.
That was the moment I knew Kylo Ren has to die.
Yeah.
That was it. That was them parting ways.
Yeah.
This was over.
Closing the door on the relationship, right?
Yes. And in fact, one of my issues with the way things went with The Rise of Skywalker was that they did not follow that.
Right.
They shoehorned them back together.
Yeah.
And so Rian Johnson did do one thing. He established Kylo Ren as the big bad for the series.
Sure.
And he closed the door on their relationship quite literally.
Right.
Literally.
So okay. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say he established him as the big bad. Because for me, the opening scene of The Force Awakens kind of does that.
Well,
but
The Force Awakens establishes a higher up for him.
Sure.
It establishes Snoke.
Okay.
Rian Johnson
I get
then
you.
had him kill that big bad.
I get you. Yeah. Fine.
And then made him supreme leader. He is now the guy. There is no one else.
True. Okay. I get you from that perspective. Okay. So what I take issue with here is that you talk about episode 8 leaving possibilities open for, I have to say, the end of episode 8 felt like the end of the whole story. I mean, you could have just wrapped it right there, not made an episode 9, and it'd have been okay. I don't think there was a whole lot left there. Where it was left wide open for something, for things to happen, was the end of episode 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel like you can end it.
It felt that way. That's all I'm saying, is it felt that way. Because, you know, things were kind of wrapping up. I don't know, that it had that feeling. Even with the little postscript. You know?
Oh, the Broom Boy thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that was definitely like the end of it, right? Like,
Yeah,
that would have been a great scene for the end of everything, right?
exactly.
Like, oh look, there's still Force users out there.
Right. So we're shoehorning that kind of stuff in the wrong spot. That's what I'm saying. And I'm sorry. I am sorry. But I've just got to say this, and forgive me or not. But Ben Solo deserves better. What about freaking Luke Skywalker? He deserved a hell of a lot better than what he got. So, I don't know. Just saying.
This will be the timeless debate.
It will. And I know I'm not going to solve anything right here, but
No,
I just needed to say it out loud.
this will be the timeless debate because, like we've established in the past, I don't have the same connection with Luke Skywalker, right?
Sure.
Prequel era, right?
Right.
But I get what you're saying. So, as a fan of that era of Star Wars, that was your era, right?
Absolutely.
You wanted more for your characters.
Yeah.
And the people who are fans of this era, like, this is their era. They wanted more for their characters.
Sure.
Only natural. But I just don't know what you could have given Ben. Like,
his death makes more sense to me than, let's say, Luke's death, right? I mean, it's the only way that it happens with it being halfway decent storytelling.
Right. I mean, my question is this. Ben deserves better.
Yeah.
What's the future for him?
I don't know that there is any.
You are quite literally responsible for genocide.
Right.
You don't get a happily ever after story after that.
Right.
Do you think he's going to be able to go to the supermarket on the weekend and be like, hey, everybody? No, they're going to hate this dude.
Right. For sure. And this is evident from, the Bloodlines book, right? It was just, canon, right? The galaxy was giving Leia a hard time when they found out Vader was her father.
Right. Her father. She didn't even do it.
Exactly. So how could we possibly expect Ben Solo to go on and live a halfway normal existence? It wouldn't happen. Couldn't happen.
No.
I
not
mean,
at all.
and yeah, I don't know.
Not even if he changed his name to Skywalker and moved to Tatooine.
Right. So if you're saying, Ben and Rey just moved out to the farm, harvesting water, and lived out their days, that was, yeah, wouldn't happen. I agree.
Not even remotely possible.
Right.
So
I don't know. If something like that were to have happened, I would have been. I don't even know the word. It makes me shake my head right now trying to reconcile that. I can't. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around that whole idea that they're just gonna get married and have kids and live happily ever after. No.
Right.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was the price for what he had done.
Absolutely.
And that was the price he was going to have to pay if he didn't come back. And it was the same price he'd have to pay for coming back.
Yeah, and I have to say, I do like his turn from the dark side, and I like a lot of what happened there, in that final battle, coming back to help Rey. Now, there's gets a little wonky with the my life force to you, your life force to me kind of thing. But, you know,
But that's what made that decision so easy for him, right?
sure.
He knew there was no life for him. She had a future. He did not.
True.
This is why he gave up his own life.
Right. But I'm just saying it's, you know, it was a little awkward, the back and forth thing going on there. You know, save you, save me, save you, save me, kind of, you know.
Right.
Kind of keep this going back and forth until it's, you know, that's I'm being facetious, but
yeah, but he brought the next level, right? Like he disappeared after he died.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
good luck.
Which, yeah, that one's also kind of like, huh? That's a head scratcher too. But okay, yeah, yeah,
That whole thing's always been kind of a head scratcher, right?
what disappearing?
The disappearing. I mean, obviously not until the prequels,
Right.
but you know, after prequels, it's a head scratcher. Why do some disappear? Why do some not?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking this has got to have something to do with like the teachings of Qui-Gon, right?
Yeah, it's the path to being a blue glowy.
Exactly.
Even though Qui-Gon didn't take that path.
Right. But
They burned him.
yes, you're right. The only way I could reconcile that with, you know, in my head is that Luke gave him some of that training prior to his turn to the dark side. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, how could it happen? I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah,
because I mean, Vader had to get burned.
Right? Burned. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. The disappearing thing was a little weird.
Right. And I'm going to stand by my prior thoughts of the Rise of Skywalker is that movie was the best we could get after the previous two, right? After The Last Jedi and where that left us. So it's, you know, in my mind, that is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's, like I said, email would have been great between the two of them. You know, just talk a little. You know, be on the same page.
Yeah. Something like that would have been awesome. Maybe an outline. Like.
And that's just more evidence that there was no end game.
Exactly.
They didn't know where they were going when they were making each film.
Right. I got to be honest with you. I feel like when they started into this endeavor, you know, they had 10, 11, 12, you know, maybe 13, 14, 15 in mind. I mean, why not? You know, this is Star Wars. Let's keep these trilogies rolling until they realized, oh, this fan base is like way more passionate about it than like the Marvel fan base. not to knock them or anything, but it's like,
no, but there is a difference here.
There is a difference, yes.
The difference is Star Wars fans are a little more apt to be critical.
Yes.
Whereas the Marvel fan base, it appears it's just they love everything.
Right.
Everything's just peachy.
And I hate to go back to, I mean, George Lucas set the bar so freaking high originally that, you know, he has talked about how hard it was to follow up his own creations, you know, and how
right.
how much pressure he felt. That's the biggest thing for me. Is I almost feel like neither JJ nor Ryan ever felt enough pressure to do right by this franchise.
No, I mean they just said it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was lip service when it came to that.
right.
I mean, JJ was probably a little too comfortable because he already had the Star Trek franchise, thrust upon him.
Yeah.
So there was, he had already had to feel the weight of a big franchise, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't come out of that unscathed,
Yeah.
He didn't exactly have a hardcore fan base saying, yeah, JJ should do all future Star Trek films. It's quite the opposite, actually.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like maybe an outline for where the trilogy was going to go. These are the major beats we got to hit along the way.
Yeah, a text message, like,
Yeah. I mean, this, to be honest about it, this needed to come from higher up than either one of those guys.
Don't disagree.
I mean, this needed to be, okay, this movie's going to do this. This movie's going to do this. This movie's going to do this. It's going to wrap it up or not or whatever. But these are the big milestones we got to hit. Make it happen. Make it a good movie, guys. That would have been a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, here's point A, here's point B, connected to.
Yeah. It can't be, hey, we like Lost. Come make a Star Wars movie. Hey, we like whatever your movies were. Come make a Star Wars movie.
Looper.
That's it. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey.
Yeah, hopefully if they venture down the whole trilogy avenue again, they've learned from their mistakes.
Yeah, I think they're done with that though. I think I actually heard something that they were done with the trilogies. I think
Trillies?
Yeah.
I like that. Done with the Trillies.
Done with the Trillies. I think they're going to focus on one-offs now. So, we've heard, just real quick here, we've heard that what Patty Jenkins' movie is going to be about, and the most recent rumor that I've heard is that Taika Waititi's might have something to do with the Jedi back when, before the spelling change, right? The Jedi or whatever. Got the two eyes at the end.
Right.
So we're talking way back. So that actually sounds more intriguing to me than, trying to start up another trilogy or anything.
Jedi on Tython.
Right. So, it would be cool to kind of see the quote unquote Jedi religion form, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, again, though, just a rumor. So, who knows? But I would say the one thing we can say for sure is the future of Star Wars is on Disney Plus for the time being. So,
yes. Films are going to be a little ways out.
Yeah.
It's all right, right?
Yeah.
Need a breather.
Absolutely.
Recollect.
Hey, we're still getting traction off of the last trilogy here, so
yeah. I mean, we're getting traction off the first trilogy, so
this is true. Yeah, I don't think that traction's ever going to go away. So
no. Well, all right. If you have anything to add to the conversation, you can always email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. It's the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media, @thewarsandmore on Twitter, facebook.com/thewarsandmore. Find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsandmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. We'll talk next week.